can feel, take it slow. I wanna be in the light with all the things from your eyes. Just another conflicted placement. I'm stuck in a place I am hating. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do when I'm stuck inside you? This cell of ice and fire, what blood red death, lost in desire, smell of life.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Rick Bolton, Ryan Edmond, not Thursday. Not Thursday. We do have a show tomorrow. We do. I do. Not we. We don't. I do because Ryan will be at America's biggest roller coaster park, riding on roller coasters, seeing haunted houses, and doing what he's going to be doing for the next every Thursday.
Yep, until Halloween, because unfortunately they are closed Halloween night.
Oh, are they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we were talking about going yesterday. I guess we will not take that trip.
Yeah. I'm going every Thursday this month. There's still 4. 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th. I thought the 31st, man, it's perfect. Hollow weekends. They're open on Thursday, every other Thursday, every single Thursday this month, except on Halloween night.
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe the kids didn't want to work or something. I don't know.
I guess they figure the crowd would be too small to justify opening the park. But we actually, my lady friend and I already talked about going and actually bringing the kids on that night. But now, no, they're not open, so it's not even an option.
Well, check out one of your local haunted houses on Halloween night instead. You got
they're open.
Bloodview will be open, and they donate all kinds of money to charity. And the actor Brody McDonald, who we met at that walkthrough we did, he'll be on the show tomorrow to talk about his history in the haunt business. And I think I'm going to go act there one night, maybe this week and maybe next week. And I'm not sure. I'll get back to you on that.
I might do that with you now, actually. I have an opportunity. I don't want to get into details, but I actually have a little bit of free time. So maybe I can do that with you one night.
Oh, yeah, right on. They posted an ad that hey, you bored? Stop down. We'll put you in some makeup and throw you in a room. Yeah. So, it's like I'm going to wear that Leatherface costume that I got made from James Ingram, J3 Jason Costumes, get some use out of that thing, and go down there. I wish I had a real chainsaw instead of this guy. I don't think this guy is loud enough. It looks cool. Speaking of Texas Chainsaw, went to the theater yesterday to watch that on the big screen. That was pretty fucking awesome.
I have never seen that in the theater.
Well, if you go to that 12 Hours of Terror event, you will because it'll be there. It'll be the first movie they show. That's going to be on the 19th.
19th. Yeah, 19th.
And they did a real cool thing, and you figured it out. I didn't figure it out. The scheme and the movies that they designed. Yeah. To me, they were kind of all over the place because it starts with Texas Chainsaw, then goes Halloween 2, Nightmare 3, and so on and so forth. Then you figured out what they did was they went in order and just grabbed different franchises. Part 1 from this franchise, Part 2 from this franchise, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and so on and so forth. And I thought that was really cool. That they
I would have mixed that up a bit.
You said you'd have did it differently? Yeah. So
the only one of those I would have kept in place was Dream Warriors.
Okay.
But everything else would have moved around, and I probably would have substituted out a couple of franchises for other things.
So just for the fuck of it, we'll just talk about it. What would you have? And you can only use them once because there was no repeating movies. Out of all of the big horror franchises that have multiple parts, they got to have multiple parts. What would you pick for the first movie?
Halloween.
You go with Halloween, okay? See, it's so tough because the first, especially of the 4 majors, they're all so good. But I'm definitely going to want to use a different Nightmare later, even though Nightmare 1 is so good. probably going to want to use a different Friday film, so I can't pick that. I would probably still go with Texas Chainsaw, but that's me. But we'll go with yours. We'll go with Halloween now. So for a part 2, what would you pick? What's the best part 2 out of these? And you can't use Halloween 2. And if you watched last week, you know damn well I wouldn't pick Halloween 2.
For 2, I'm going to throw a curveball.
Yeah.
Child's Play 2.
Ooh, that's a good one. They didn't use a Child's Play in theirs. And yeah, that's a good one. All right. I'll go with that. I'll go with the Child's Play 2. 3, you're obviously going to go Nightmare 3 because why wouldn't you? Let's see. And I probably would too because I wouldn't go Hellraiser. I wouldn't go I might go Halloween 3, the movie we're going to talk about tonight. I might actually do that.
Hellraiser 2 actually wouldn't be. Hellraiser 2 actually wouldn't be bad for 2 instead of Child's Play if you wanted to go that route also.
Right. And I can't go Halloween 3 because we went Halloween 1. So
right.
So that knocks that out. I definitely Friday 3 is not great. I wouldn't want to do that one. Except for in the movie with the 3D, you know, it's still not cool enough to
I think it's gotta be Dream Warriors in the 3 spot.
So I'm in compliance with that because you know, like I said, I would go Halloween 3, but we can't do Halloween 3 so because it was already used. All right. So number 4, what would you do?
Final Chapter.
Absolutely right. So we got no Friday 13 Part 6 like they're gonna have. So guys that can't make it through 12 hours will get their Friday fixed at our marathon. And then Part 5, would you keep it the Scream 5 or
no? I'd probably swap that out. And I'm doing this off the top of my head. I'm trying to really get down to the nitty gritty here. Which was the 5th Texas Chainsaw movie?
Let's see. It wasn't 1, 2, 3, 4. What came after 4? Was it the remake?
Is that the good one?
I love it, but yeah, maybe. That is not the Adam Marcus in 3D movie.
Okay, I don't want that one.
Yeah, the 5th one was the one with Jessica Biel.
That one's actually pretty good.
That is pretty good.
You know what? Let's do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. And then now we got a Part 6. We used almost all of the big franchises. What's Hellraiser 6? What is that? I know, but I'm saying we're running out of room here. Oh, we only need one more. We only need a Scream 6?
Yeah, that's the newest one.
That's the newest one.
Let's do that. Let's cap it off with the newest one.
There you go. And that would be our 12 Hours of Terror marathon.
I have like a couple of other like dark horses that I'd throw in there too. Like it would completely change everything. Like I think a good one to start with would be the first Saw.
That is a good one. We didn't have any Saw movies in this.
Then we could switch it up with like Halloween 4. And then we could keep Jason Lives maybe in that 6th spot.
Yeah.
Because I still do really like that one too. So
right. Oh no, yeah, absolutely. And I've never seen Part 6 in the theater. And I think that'll still be true on the 20th because I don't think I'm gonna be able to stay up in the morning, dude.
See now if I go out for that, that's probably the biggest draw, the biggest 2 draws for me to go would be to see Dream Warriors and then Jason Lives in the theater.
I'm gonna make it through Dream Warriors. Yeah. I wish it was Hellraiser 2 instead of Halloween 2.
I happen to agree with you, even though I like Halloween 2 a lot more than you do. But today's not the time for that. When we rank these, I think I'll go off, or maybe I'll do a little live on my own. I almost did the other.
Hey, Jonah Hodge in the house. How you doing? They're working on Redhead 2. I seen some really cool makeups that they got going on for. Did you see that with her? Yeah, that shit looked crazy.
Sam is a phenomenal makeup and effects artist.
Yeah, definitely. I really hope that these guys make it big and he gets lots and lots of money to really do some crazy shit that, you know, blow your fucking mind.
And I'm going to tell you this right now, and we were kind of scratching the surface on this. If we ever decided to make a film, I'd hire him just to do the fucking effects.
Oh yeah. If we ever got funded for something like that, we do have ideas. There's Sam. He's now says bing bong. Yeah. Right on. Who else is here? We got St. John's award-winning Michigan Jason in the house. Right on.
Well, Sam and John are also award winners.
Everybody
that watches,
they're going to be
everybody that watches our show has full trophy cases. Let me tell you that.
They're going to be at Scarefest screening Redhead, but we will not be there because life happened and we can't go. But we did pass our tickets on to the Colonel and Zigzag from the Death Curse Society, who will come down there, and they have a little bit of a bigger following than we do anyway. So
yeah, a little bit
about that much. Maybe get you guys some more publicity, you know. But they're great guys. If you see them out there, stop and say hi to the Hodges as well as the Death Curse Society guys. St. John's, Michigan James are going to be at Cedar Point Saturday. I don't know if Ryan's going on Saturday, but he might see you because he's got
Saturday. Saturday is the worst day to go.
Okay, so he will not be there.
No.
All right.
My little lady friend might though, but I will not be there.
Right on. Right on. So
Thursday is the day to go.
So I throw maybe a curveball at you. But did you since you weren't here for Halloween 2?
Mm-hmm.
Did you do a top 5, bottom 5? Do you want to do that real quick, or do you want to save it?
I don't have it on hand.
Okay, right on, cool.
I had it in my head. I never wrote it out because I knew.
I wish I would have thought about it more because I would have had you get that to me before you got on the show because it would just be cool to talk about it. It added to the conversation, lulls in the conversation which we had.
I do have one thing I like to share. I have a visual aid.
Okay, Ryan's going to get a visual aid. All right.
See, you and JP both called me out for playing hooky and said you did not believe I was sick. You did not believe I was sick. I have my visual aid right here.
Ryan had the COVID.
I sure did. It's still lingering, but I feel it's still lingering, but I'm feeling a lot better.
Right. Well, we're glad to hear you're feeling better.
See, I don't believe he's sick.
Cross, man. It's all his fault.
Yeah.
We'll blame him since he's not here because he's on tour with Drowning Pool. And I think tonight they're playing New Mexico. And then they're going to eventually play the Whiskey A Go-Go in L.A., which they've played before. But that's got to be really fun to play for, a metal band, just all the history there.
All the legendary hair metal bands of the 80s played there.
Of course. That's hell yeah, dude. Did Metallica start there? Like, it was like some of their first big shows? And
could have been, yeah.
Guns N' Roses did their comeback show there, if I'm not mistaken. And that might be the show that Axl broke his leg at.
Nothing will ever top Axl Rose in a wheelchair singing for AC/DC, though.
Right, yeah. When he first got back with them for that comeback tour, I was so excited. I'm such a big Guns N' Roses fan. And then he breaks his leg, and he gets offered the job with AC/DC. I said, this tour's over before it even starts. Because that's his dream job his whole life is singing with AC/DC. And then the broken leg. And he's not going to do both tours. And he's not going to show up on a wheelchair. But God damn it, he did.
Mm-hmm.
he toughed it out.
He sounded good as fuck with AC/DC too.
Oh yeah, he's perfect for them. He's perfect. I even said I'd probably rather see him with him than fucking Brian Johnson.
I wouldn't go that far just because but you're never gonna see that anymore anyway. So
he came back. He came back after.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought he went like totally deaf.
That's the excuse they were giving everybody that he couldn't do it, but it was bullshit. Yeah. And he did have some. He did have the hearing problems. Wasn't totally bullshit, but he could still do it. And they had some kind of a beef, and that's when they called Axl. And there you go.
I'll never forget driving past his house in Sarasota, Florida. Everybody knows it's his house too, with a big neon guitar in the front.
Oh, right on. Hell yeah.
Brian Johnson's lived in Sarasota, Florida for many, many years.
Well, he's good friends with Jim Brewer.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim Brewer was on some podcast, and he started telling stories about the AC/DC Brian Johnson beef that he wasn't really supposed to say. A lot of the stuff got out, and then I guess that's probably how it got fixed too.
Maybe that's a happy accident then.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to talk about Halloween 3, continuing our Halloween franchise review, because we're trying to get all of these done so we can get the ranking episode done by Halloween, maybe even on Halloween. We're not sure. But that's the plan. I was thinking, before we start with this, we should probably do 4 and 5 and maybe 4, 5, and 6 together. What do you think?
Fine with me.
Yeah, we'll at least do 4 and 5 together, the Jamie Lloyds. Well, she's technically in all 3, but she's only in the beginning of 6, and it's not Danielle anyway, so blah, blah, blah. And plus, that movie's going to have a lot more to talk about, I think, just because of the 2 versions and everything.
Part 6, honestly, is other than the original, and maybe this one we're going to talk tonight, I think part 6 can probably be dissected more than all of them.
Right, yeah, because of, literally, they made 2 fucking movies.
Yeah.
And then there's the TV version of the movie, which is even more different, and 4 different people could see 4 different of these movies and not know. But tonight, Halloween 3, which came out in 1982, had a budget of $2.5 million. It made $14.4 million. So it was still a financial success.
Yeah, it was for the first week or 2.
Yeah, and then they figured out Michael Myers isn't in it and it pissed them off, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, box office on this film died very quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was very heavily anticipated because it wasn't a 3-year wait. It was only a 1-year wait since part 2.
Mm-hmm.
And JP and yourself aren't fans of part 2, but moviegoers were.
Oh, yeah.
And they were ready for 3, ready to sink their teeth in. And you ever watch a trailer for part 3?
I did not. And I usually do that before I do these shows. But probably because I didn't watch it on DVD, so I couldn't get all the special features. That's why.
See, it doesn't claim that Michael Myers or the Shape will be in the movie, but I'm not saying it was false advertising or anything, but it was weird.
I'm gonna look it up right after this.
Yeah, it obviously shows a lot of stuff we do see in Halloween 3.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really, I don't know. It's off-putting.
Right on. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I don't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the film was directed by Tommy Lee Wallace.
Yeah, longtime Carpenter collaborator.
Absolutely. And he directed It.
He did the original with John Ritter and Tim Curry.
Right on. He wrote Amityville 2, which I really like. Because it's Amityville 2 is the one with Paulie from Rocky.
Oh, yeah. Burt Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JP says, I'm just here to say Halloween 3 is fucking amazing. Tom Atkins. Hell yeah. JP's playing in, like I said, in Roswell, New Mexico tonight. So you kill it out there, brother.
Don't get abducted by aliens out there.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. See, if it's 8:20 here, it's 5:20 there. Yeah. So he's got a while before he goes on stage, I'm sure.
The sun's still up there, man. Stay away from old Hangar 18.
They posted a picture with him and James, the guitarist from A Killer's Confession, at some place with some drawing of an alien behind him and stuff. That that shit's right up JP's alley. All the fucking going on.
I'm
there.
sure he probably went to that cafe too to eat the alien cafe thing with the spaceship and all.
Probably.
People it's like the closest place you can eat that's legally close to the base and all that shit. It's a huge tourist trap.
Right on.
Of course it would be,
He's been trying to get Keegan an anal probe. Right on, man. Keegan's their drummer.
Yeah, I know.
But I think it's Kegan. I think I found that out when I seen them the other day. I think it's not Keegan. I think it's pronounced Kegan. I could have sworn you said that.
Everybody has a strict print like Revis.
Yeah.
Kegan, Revis. It has to be that way, not the other way.
Waylon can't stand to be Waylon Revis.
Yeah,
I've heard it the proper way so many times. If I hear Revis, it don't even sound right to me now. But every interview he's ever done that comes up.
There was like a post-rock band like 20 years ago called Revis, Revis, that was pretty good. They only put out one album. It's called Places for Breathing, and it's actually pretty fucking cool. I still listen to it from time to time. Random fact of the day. Anyway.
So he directed it, Fright Night 2, not part 1. No. And like I said, Amityville 2, that's all I got for him.
Yeah, and then he was pretty much a television director after that.
Yeah, he did a lot of TV.
Yeah, he did a lot of TV. I mean, he was a regular television director.
And for the actors, I only have 4 or 5 written down here. I didn't go through everybody, but I got the big ones. I got Tom Atkins, the biggest of the big ones.
That's your opinion.
You think there's a bigger actor in this film than Tom Atkins?
One I like more.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Well, yeah, maybe I do know, but we'll see. All right. So Tom Atkins, of course, he was in The Fog, Night of the Creeps, Creep Show, My Bloody Valentine 3D. Like he's done just about everything.
Horror icon, no doubt about it.
Definitely a horror icon. One of those Pittsburgh guys that hooked up with Romero and all those guys. So yeah, he's the man. Met him recently. I think he's like 95 years old and still kicking.
He's about 90 years old, yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. The kids
still does cons.
Yeah. When we met him, the kids were wearing the masks that are behind me there. You can see the 3 masks. Mm-hmm. They were each wearing one of those.
I think Ted White did cons till he was 93 or 4, but then COVID happened.
Yeah, and then he couldn't do them anymore because of COVID, not because of lack of want to.
Right, he still
after that.
He passed at 90, I want to say 6.
Sounds right.
And if it wasn't for COVID, at his advanced age, it's very dangerous for him to be out amongst that, especially when we didn't know a lot about it. But man, I remember he was 93 and he did one in full costume.
Yep, I see.
And he said this will be my last con in full costume, but I'm still going to do cons. I'm just not going to put the outfit on anymore. And when you make it to 93 years old, that's fair.
That was an awesome con because they had like 6 Jasons in costume.
And our regular listener, Sean Siffel, was there.
Oh, really? Nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, I would have loved to have been at that one.
Yeah. He got
probably cost a fortune.
He got a really sweet autographed lithograph of all the Jasons from that one.
Did he get the photo op?
He did.
I wonder what that cost. I bet you it would cost a lot of money.
Yeah, not cheap.
All right. So the second actress I wrote down. We're supposed to call them all actors now, I think, to be politically correct, right?
Sure.
Give a shit. Stacy Nicken?
Yeah, that girl.
Yeah, she played Ellie. Then this is the one that is probably the actor you like better, but I can't see him being better. But Dan O'Herlihy.
Yes.
Okay, I figured he's a Ryan type of actor. Once you said there's another guy.
Huge fan. Love him. And people know if you watch this show or know me in general, I'm a huge mark for RoboCop.
Yeah.
And he plays the old man in RoboCop. And I love this guy.
Yeah. He did RoboCop, The Last Starfighter, which if JP is still here, remember we were talking about a sci-fi movie that Nick Castle directed instead of doing number 2 or whatever? That's what it was. It was The Last Starfighter.
So another Halloween related thing going on.
Carpenter universe kind of guy, yeah.
Yeah, Nick Castle directing and
the Carpenter tree, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was in Last Starfighter, as you said, RoboCop.
Yeah, he has a plethora of credits, man. He acted for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was very interesting. I really liked him.
He did a lot of TV in his younger years too.
And he was actually Irish, which is a plus.
Yes. Oh, Herlihy? Absolutely.
You think?
Yeah.
Then we got Jamie Lee Curtis was in this.
Her voice, yeah.
Her voice was in it. She was the operator for the operator when he was trying to get through to the police, and the voice when they were talking about the fucking when you shut everything down, curfew.
Yeah. 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones? I wrote that down. That can't be
Tommy
right.
Lee Jones.
I wrote that down, but that's not right. Oh, that's because it was supposed to be Tommy Lee Wallace.
And Wallace.
I wrote Tommy Lee Jones. I'm like, I don't remember fucking Tommy Lee Jones being in this bitch. Two-Face wasn't in this.
If that's the first thing you think of when you think of Tommy Lee Jones, man, wow.
Yeah.
The first thing I think of when I think of him is No Country for Old Men.
Oh yeah. That's definitely a better one.
I think it's the role of his life.
Yeah, but he did the voice on the commercials. Tommy Lee Wallace.
Yeah,
not Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones was not here.
And real quick snippet: No Country for Old Men, best film of the last 20 years, my opinion.
It's a good one. I didn't like it the first time I watched it. To be honest, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. And then I'm like, Ryan's talking about this movie too goddamn much. I got to watch it again. And I did, and I fucking loved it, and it's great. And
the only movie I saw in the theater 4 times.
Oh, there you go.
I loved it so much, and in fact, I went 3 days in a row.
I didn't see it in the theater. I think I seen it at home. Pretty sure.
I saw it 3 days in a row, and then I went a couple weeks later and caught it again. I loved it that much.
There you go. All right, so we got Nancy Keys was Alice's wife, who was Annie in Halloween, the first Halloween.
That's right.
Or Nancy Loomis, if you prefer, because that was her name at this time.
Yeah.
And I don't have any other actors or actresses written down. Was there anybody else you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I forget his name off the top of my head. Like, it would come to me. But when they have the control room scene with that family.
Yeah, they're all cool.
Yeah.
I don't know any of them from anything else.
Well, the dad in that one, the heavyset father, his name escapes me right now. But I read this thing and I fact checked it. It turns out to be true. He and Tom Atkins were actually good real life friends.
Okay.
And they would get together about once a month for beers and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And they did for years. And 10 years after Halloween 3 came out, obviously they don't share a scene in the movie. You know, I mean, one of them's watching the other one in the movie, but he's not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they would reminisce about things in that. And they actually never even really talked about Halloween 3, even though they were both in it. And they just so happened the one night they were at dinner having drinks together. It got brought up and they talked about it and reminisced about it. And that night, on the way home from the dinner with Tom Atkins, that other actor whose name escapes me actually died of a heart attack on the drive home that night after having dinner with Tom Atkins.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
It was like almost exactly 10 years after Halloween 3 came out. It was 1992. So.
Oh, wow.
It is a fact. I looked it up. I saw it as like a trivia thing, and I checked it. It's true.
Right on.
But
and,
his name is escaping me now, and I feel bad. So.
And I don't know her, I don't have her name written down either, but Tom Atkins' real life wife was the other person that was, you know, like the other businesswoman that was there to try to talk to the people at the factory because she was getting bad product from them or whatever, and she died in the hotel room. But that was his real life wife at the time. And a DeLorean makes an appearance in this movie. Did you know that? It's hidden in a warehouse. You can see it. 1981 DeLorean. So I wonder if Marty made a trip back from the future and made a pit stop in the Halloween movie.
Well, he fucked up because he went back and forgot to stop the commercial.
Yeah, no doubt.
So it was probably Biff joyriding.
Probably. There's also a Plymouth Fury in the movie.
Oh,
Christine.
yeah.
Where is Christine? Oh, the suicide, the guy that killed the dad, and he went out to his car and blew himself up. That was a Plymouth Fury.
Well, and how did he kill himself?
Did he blow up the car?
What do you call that, though, the way he did it?
An Irish car bomb?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
That is called self-immolation.
Oh, there you go. All right, right on.
And I actually have something about that, but we'll get to it when we're done with this little run.
Well, we're done.
Oh, because I got 3 questions for you.
Okay. Questions. All right. I have more fun facts about the film. That's fun. I got nothing.
Yeah. So my thing is this. I know you're a fan of this movie. I know you are. It's no secret.
So I got the shirt. I got the hat.
And people, I'm not a fan of this movie, and that's no secret too. And it's weird because if we would have done the show last week, it's a flip flop.
Yeah. But I don't hate Halloween 2. I think you hate this movie.
I do.
See, that's the difference. I just think Halloween 2 is not very good.
Mm-hmm. I do, and I know it's become the cool thing to like this movie in the last 10 years or so. It's gained a huge cult following.
Absolutely has.
Whereas if you go back 30 years ago, everyone hated this movie. And if they tell you they didn't, they're a fucking liar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone walked out of this movie disappointed, upset.
I never even bothered to see it until recently, to be honest with you.
Really?
Because I going to the video store as a kid, you go to get your movies. Mm-hmm. Somebody told me if we did rent it, I watched 10, 20 minutes of it. There was no Michael Myers. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I never went back because of that.
See, now a similar thing happened with Friday the 13th: A New Beginning. Everyone hated that movie in the 80s too. They did. And again, if they tell you they didn't, they're a fucking liar.
Well, I didn't, and I can tell you that.
I did not like Friday the 13th Part 5 at all when I was a teenager, at all.
It's one of the first ones that I watched it so many times.
The thing is, though, I was narrow-minded about it. And, it's fake Jason, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. If you go back now, it's still canon. It's still Tommy Jarvis. It's still Friday the 13th characters. It's still the Friday the 13th story. It never strays from it.
Right.
And I'm like, why were people that upset about it? Whereas this is a totally different thing in and of itself. It has absolutely nothing to do with
any of the other movies.
For it or after it. It's a standalone thing. Now, people put it was supposed to be an anthology and this and that. I understand that. They scrapped the idea because this movie was nowhere near as successful as 1 or 2. The thing is, though, when we review these things and rate them, we have to do it, or the mindset, this is 1982. We just walked out of the theater after seeing it. We don't know what happens later. That's the way I approach it.
Okay.
And when you approach it like that, you can't like this movie. You just can't.
Oh, I disagree.
You can't like this as a Halloween movie.
I don't have 12 other Halloween movies to, but then again, I didn't when I watched it as a kid, like I just told you. And I thought that. So,
well, that's why I hate it, though, because I'm looking at it. I have seen Halloween 1 and 2, and I'm a teenager going to the theater in 1982, and this is what they give me. I'd be fucking pissed.
I can see, like I said,
and the vast majority of people were.
Yeah, so Sean Clark, who's the biggest Halloween fan in history. He does the Halloween 45. He'll do the Halloween 50. Almost every Halloween actor or actress is represented by him. He's the Stacey Lee of Halloween.
Yes.
And he was telling a story on his podcast where he went with his aunt. She took him to the movie theater to Halloween 3. And 20 minutes go by, 40 minutes go by. Movie's fucking over, and Michael Myers is never there. So yeah, I get that, and I could see that. I could absolutely see that. But
now, if they would have marketed it differently and said a new story from that doesn't feature anything, they didn't say he would be in it, but they didn't tell you he wouldn't.
That's the problem. I think you started talking about that earlier when you were saying it's not in the trailer that he's in it, and I was gonna say, does it say he isn't in it? Because that's a big deal, and I'm sure that he doesn't. Mm-hmm. How would you feel if we didn't have Halloween 2? Would you still feel that way? Was Michael Myers that big of a character in Halloween 1 that you would expect him? Like, let's say this isn't Halloween 3. This is now Halloween 2. Halloween 2, as we know it, that we talked about last week, doesn't exist. And they're going for the anthology idea. Halloween 1 happens. It was the boogeyman. Blah, blah, blah. It's over. The next Halloween movie, Halloween 2, Season of the Witch. Do you still feel the same way?
Does it come out in 1979 or does it come out in 1982?
Well, 81, because that's when Halloween 2 came out.
Mm.
So we'll say 2 years went by. 2-3 years.
I don't know. That's a tough question, man, because that changes everything. That's not what happened. We can't have revisions.
I understand that. I'm just hypothetical, trying to see what you would, see if you can put your mindset.
I think people would hate it less, but they'd still ultimately not be happy with it because, again, even if you like this movie, there's no shot that's as good as part one.
No doubt. Is it? I think if this movie came out first and then Michael Myers, then you might be able to get away from Michael Myers. But Michael Myers was there, it happened, and he's that big of a character that I think that even if 2 didn't happen, I think this would receive pretty close to the way it was. If
this movie came out first, there'd never be a sequel to it to begin with because it's something that wouldn't continue.
No, it has another idea which the other idea would be Michael Myers and Haddonfield.
Well, then that would make sense.
And the third idea would have been, some space movie or some shit, whatever.
Well, then it would make sense as an anthology because there is no big bad in this movie.
Right.
And the main antagonist is killed definitively. And the ending is a bad ending, and it's not a bad ending in quality, a bad ending like it's bad, not good. Like good guy wins. No, it's bad. Which I actually is one of the things I like. Spoiler alert is the ending to this movie.
Okay, I thought you were saying it was not good. I was just saying,
no,
God.
No, I like the
endings in all the movies.
I like the ending, but it's a bad ending. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's probably why I liked it because, which Halloween 1, they left it open. Even though they didn't really, even though Carpenter never intended to make a sequel, the way that film ended, it was perfectly set up for one.
Well, the guy took 6 shots, 7 in part 1, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and then you go look, and he's gone.
Did they show him gone in part 1?
Yeah.
Oh.
Loomis goes to the window and looks, and the body's not there. And then
I remember that in the beginning of part 2, but I couldn't remember that was.
It's it. Yeah, and 1. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, okay.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's his own fault then.
He disappears. Yeah.
That's Carpenter's fault.
So, and I love John Carpenter, but yeah, that is on him. That's the way he ended that, and it's a great ending. It's suspenseful.
It is a great ending.
But then by 2, people love that character, man. People were dressing up as him for a real actual Halloween.
Right.
So
there was just no turning back after that.
They're just. If this movie had came out in 1982 and was just called Season of the Witch with no Halloween on it, or even Season of the Witch, ... a Halloween story.
That's a good way to put it.
Maybe we got something here, man, because there is a story to this movie. Although I will tell you, when you really peel the layers of the onion, this movie doesn't make any sense. But it's still, there's a story here. It's not necessarily a good one, but it's there.
I think it's a good Halloween, as in the holiday movie.
Yeah, again, Season of the Witch, a Halloween story.
That's such a better idea. Look at you. Where were you in 1981?
In 81, 1 year old.
Yeah. See, you should have hit up John Carpenter and told him, and he would have made this better, and it would have been better.
Oh, John Carpenter didn't want nothing to do with this other than making the music. So, although he did a rewrite for it.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, he did actually. And that hurts my heart because the script is so bad. So it just is. It's just bad. So as much as you dislike 2, I dislike 3 twice as much. Like,
yeah, I know. I know, because again, I'll watch 2. I just, especially after its latest watch of it, I'm like, this is not a good movie.
Even if you don't care for the execution of 2, the story at least made sense based on the way that 1 ended.
Yeah, most of it made sense.
Sure, this makes none.
I think it makes sense. Suspend disbelief, because there's this crazy supernatural side of things.
Well, the boogeyman thing works perfectly because every little kid's afraid of the boogeyman at some point, whether he's real or not.
Yeah.
Whereas this creepy old Irish gangster with androids, I mean.
Why can't that happen? Why is that so hard to believe? I don't understand. And then the fucking The fucking Stonehenge. He
All
went
right.
down one of the fucking rocks.
Can I ask you 3 questions?
I don't know.
Can I ask you 3 questions?
Sure. Did we do that already? No, we didn't.
No, I'm gonna ask questions. This isn't my top or bottom 5. I have
Ask
2.
the questions.
But
I thought
since
you
you like
started this already, though. But okay.
since you like, no, I never got there. The first question, and the intensity of them, the importance of them will grow. This is the least important of the 3.
Second, Ryan.
Huh?
It said pause. We got a new listener here, so I wanted to acknowledge him. Travis Mitchell. He says, "How's it going? Love the channel name in this movie." Same, and thank you. Ryan does not agree with you about the love of the movie, though, but he's going to get into that with these questions that he's about to start asking me. And go ahead, unpause.
Okay. So this is the least important of the 3, and they'll get more important as I go. As we discussed, the guy who self-immolated himself in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you wipe off your gloved hands and clean them on a curtain just to go to a car and self-immolate yourself 2 minutes later when you already planned to do that? Why?
Didn't even notice that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I don't care.
But it's dumb. It doesn't add anything. It makes no sense. Suspending disbelief for the whole big picture, but this is something that, and they accentuate like him wiping his hands on these curtains, but they're already in gloves, and he already intended to kill himself, self-immolate himself as soon as he got outside, because the gas can and that shit was already in the car and the lighter.
Right. But he had blood on his hands and snot and all this other bullshit. You know that you don't want that on his hands.
But they're not on his hands. He already has gloves on.
Well, the gloves are on his hands, so the blood and shit is just traveling with them. Like
wouldn't you just remove the gloves at that point?
I would remove the gloves. I would take the gloves off. That's what I would.
Just
leave them right there, because I wouldn't care if somebody finds them, because I'm going to blow myself up.
See, it's fucking stupid because it's such a long shot of him doing that for no reason. It just that's the first. That's
logical explanation for why he might have done it.
It's stupid.
You have nothing. You can't even come up with something reason why.
So, and I'm all about imagery and surrealism and things like that, but there's nothing surreal about it. It's just there. There's nothing to it, because again, he's not human anyway.
Right.
So he doesn't have emotions. Why would he care if his hands are dirty when he's going to be eliminating himself in a minute anyway?
All right, I got nothing for that guy. Okay. Now what's question 2?
Number 2. So the main protagonist, or I'm sorry, the antagonist of this, I like, but he is just a creepy old Irish gangster. There's nothing, like, he's not powerful. He's not, whatever.
He is extremely powerful. What do you mean?
You know what I'm saying? He can't beat the shit out of you. Not powerful like that. He's just a creepy old man.
Well, he doesn't have to. He has so many things that can do it for him.
Let me finish.
All right.
Why not just kill the doctor? Why Scooby-Doo him and tie him up and put him at? Why?
What, you mean Chalice?
Yeah, why not just kill him? You had 50 opportunities to do it.
Because old school villains like to tie you up and explain what's going on. That's the thing.
Well, Tom Atkins' Chalice he's not a hero. There's nothing powerful about him either. He's an everyman. He's just a guy.
Yeah, but he's the guy that came to try to stop him. So he wants to, this is why you can't stop me, and this is what I'm going to do, and I got to explain my whole plan. That's just been a thing in stories since the dawn of time.
But again, he just is a guy that just stumbles onto this because he happens to be at the hospital when that first kill happens.
Right. And he takes the time to go there. He investigates. He is the protagonist at that point.
My thing, though, is when you have a killer, villain, whatever, that's
Travis has something for the gloves. He says that blood looks like hot fudge sundae sauce, and the glove wiping seems like a reminder that they're programmed to resemble professional businessmen.
Whatever. I don't buy it.
Hey, it's better than anything I can come up with, so Travis, thank you.
But that's my thing. When you're that sophisticated, that intelligent of a villain, why just drag this run-of-the-mill back-ass backwards hero along? Just kill him. It's stupid. You kill everybody else.
You
kill the fucking derelict just for running his mouth, who can't even do anything to stop you. But this guy that's actually trying to stop you, you let him live. Like, stupid.
He probably just gets off on showing the person his plan and like letting him fucking see what's going on and torturing him.
But if that was the case, wouldn't there be like 50 other people with those masks on tied up? No, it's just Tom Atkins because it's stupid.
All right.
That's two. Oh, okay. And now number 3, and this is the dumbest, biggest plot hole, stupid fucking thing of all. Okay.
All right.
Why would the android version of Ellie allow the doctor to kill Cochran, kill all these other employees, fuck up all this equipment, do all that, only to 2 minutes later try to kill him in the car after she let him do all this shit? Why?
I don't know. This is the one where I was just like, this is making, all right, you got me there. You got me there. Like, this is just, that didn't even need to be. Why did she even need to be an android? That fucks up the whole movie. If he really does save her and everything, and the rest of the movie still goes the way it goes, fine.
Once she's an android, she's one of them.
Yeah.
It's not like this is AI and her program slowly evolving. She just runs alongside of him while he dumps those transmitters out and kills all those people, and then goes along with them. And then, okay, now we're driving on the road. No, I guess I'll try to kill you now.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
It completely, even if I like this movie, that would ruin a lot of it right there, because it makes no logical sense whatsoever.
Yeah. And that will knock this movie down a grade or two.
See, now, and this is what I got to say about Tom Atkins. I think his performance as Chalice is very good. I do. I think he's a great actor, but his character fucking sucks. The character sucks. He's just a pervy old fuck, you know?
Oh, no, his character. I love his character. I love everything about his character. I strive to one day be like his character.
You got to go to medical school.
I may have been there a time or two already.
Well, you got to go to medical school and become a creep then. So
yeah, see, I'm not a doctor
though. He's the actual medical doctor version of fucking Axel from the final chapter. You know, pretty much.
Oh yeah, he is.
But Axel, I liked as a character.
Because he wasn't an old creep? Is that why? Are we ageist?
I don't know. Well, the chick he was trying to, hit on was his age, not 40 years younger. So, I'm a person,
60, and I can get with a girl that's 30. I'm on it, dude. I'm on it.
I have a much younger girlfriend. People know that. So that ain't even about that. It's just the method of I don't know. I just thought his character was bland. Performance was good, but again, I loved Stephen Williams in Jason Goes to Hell, but the character,
I absolutely hate that movie.
The character of Creighton Duke is a cool character, but it makes no fucking sense. So
I think it makes a lot more sense than this does. But
Creighton Duke.
I can make it make sense anyway. You know what I mean?
You see what I'm getting at, though. I like Tom Atkins. I don't like Chalice. Is that fair?
Yeah. When Chalice takes his shirt off and down Dorito made of raw chicken. Absolutely. That's fucking awesome, Travis. Hey, Travis, how did you find this show? I'm just curious. But while we're waiting on him to respond to that, we're going to do your top 5, bottom 5. Are we about at that point, and then we'll grade this sucker?
Yeah. I'm going to do the top 5 first.
Okay.
My top 5 favorite things that I did like about Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, 1982. Number 5 is the London Bridge theme. It's annoying as fuck, but it's grown on me over the years. I actually kind of dig it.
Yep.
Yeah, I dig it. I did not like it back in the day. That one's grown on me. And I get why they use London Bridge, because it is catchy, and it was free because it's public domain. So, and it's so annoying that it's good. whereas other things are so annoying that they're bad. But that's my number 5. My number 4 favorite thing is the ending, the last scene. That's great acting by Atkins right there. Again, I thought he did well, just don't like the character. But in that scene, he's great. He's terrific. I like that. I like that the ending is a negative ending, because so often we had positive endings, but a negative ending fits this movie pretty good because it's very doomy, gloomy kind of feel to it.
I just had a random thought.
Yeah.
Is there a John Carpenter that has a positive ending?
I can't hear you.
Is there a John Carpenter film that has a positive ending?
They live.
They Live is probably the only one.
Yeah, all the aliens get exposed.
Yeah, it's probably the only one. All right, so where were you? Were you at number 3?
Yeah, number 4 was the ending. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3 favorite thing about this is Dano Herlihy's performance as Cochrane. Again, the character of Cochrane is whatever. I don't hate it, but the character's whatever. But I think he was the best actor in this movie, and a lot of people will disagree with that and say Tom Atkins just because he has a huge thing. Just like when Bruce Campbell shows up in anything, people just say he's the best because he shows up when he's really not that good of an actor. Tom Atkins is a good actor, but Dano Herlihy is better. His performance was great. The character made not as much sense as it should have, but I like him a lot. Love his screen presence, and huge RoboCop mark, so that helps. My number 2 favorite thing about this film is the cinematography. I love the way it's shot. It looks great. It's very dark, but it suits the film. It's gritty. It just feels like something bad is going to happen, and bad things happen. And my number 1 favorite thing, surprise, surprise, is John Carpenter's score. So the music it's not Halloween 1978 level score, but there are bits of that in here that are digitized and different versions of it. But overall, it's a good score.
It's pretty close to Travis's top 5. You got the score, the violence, the weird tone and characters, the jingle, and the ending.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, and he likes the movie, so at least I'm picking up on the positive things that people like about it, and I'm actually giving that its roses.
Right.
Now for the bad news.
All right. The bottom 5.
And there are many things I don't like about this movie, and I've already touched on some. But yeah, my top, or should I say bottom 5 least favorite things I disliked about how 3 Season of the Witch 1982. Number 5 would be, and I touched on it a little bit, the romantic angle between the Doc and Ellie. I just didn't really think they had good chemistry. And the fact that he couldn't pick up on her being an android when all of us already knew at the end just shows that no. Don't care about the age difference that much. That's not it. I just feel like it was shoehorned in there to pad the runtime because there's so much other story you could have unpacked with this that was devoted to that. And it seems like that whole friggin' end of first, beginning of the middle act is just them boning. And just
I was going to say, 40 years ago, how much of an age difference was there? But 40 years ago, he was still 50.
Something like that.
Yeah, he was 50.
So that's number 5. My number 4 least favorite thing about this, and it's weird because in the original Halloween, this is a thing I like, but I think in this movie, it's to the detriment. And I don't like that there's no real motive. I hate it. And I'll tell you why. With a silent killer that's just the personification of pure evil, that works. But with a sophisticated, intelligent mastermind of a villain not really having motivation is bad. You could have given him any kind of thing, like his kids were ran down on Halloween, so now he hates Halloween and wants to do away with all the other kids in the world because he never got vengeance. I'm
The
just making
Irish
sure.
invented the Halloween. That's why he was all about the Halloween. It's Samhain and all that.
I get, they brought up the Samhain thing and all that. I understand. But just the way it's just like, why? Do I really need a reason why? Just, it's stupid. I don't like it. Again, anything that has religious tones or whatever to me is all bullshit. So even going down that road, the whole Irish, Celtic, whatever, bullshit. So that's no real motive. My number 3 least favorite thing about this is the kills. I don't think they're good. I think they're weird and not in a good way.
The first one's amazing.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't say it's amazing. I like it better than some of the other ones. There's one I do really like. It didn't make my top 5, but I will discuss it. I did like the drill kill because it's off screen, but the way it's shot was fantastic. I did like that.
Speaking of the kills, and did you get to number 1 yet? All right,
I'm on 3.
I'll wait on that just in case it comes up.
Yeah. It's not going to.
What I'm talking about?
No, it won't.
How do you know what I'm talking about?
Because you said it's related to the kills.
All right, okay. But I was going to say, like, the bugs and the worms and shit coming out of the masks.
Mm-hmm.
That is the dumbest thing in the fucking movie.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It didn't make my top or bottom 5. I don't. Okay. Also, and I know you'll disagree with this vehemently, I don't care for the look of the masks.
Oh, I love them.
I know you do. Most people do. I don't.
Especially the jack-o'-lantern. I think he's the prettiest.
That's the one that I think is actually kind of cool. The Don Post skeleton and witch, though, I'm not a fan of. The jack-o'-lantern was made specifically for this movie. The other 2 were recycled Don Post masks.
Right. Absolutely.
I knew you would know. Of course you would know that. I wouldn't have to bring that up. But, the kills in general are just weird, especially the android kills where they just puke up that orange, like, gook. I don't even think it's gross. I don't think it's extreme. I don't think it's brutal. I just think it's weird.
Right.
So it's just not for me. My number 2 least favorite thing about this movie is while it's very dark and ominous, it's not scary at all. It's not scary in the least bit to me. And when you're a horror film and you're following 2 films with a very scary villain, one of the scariest ever. Yeah. This really, it's like a fucking flatter than a plate full of piss in the scared apartment.
Okay.
It's not
It'd be scary.
I don't think it's scary at all. Dark and ominous, yes. But scary? Nah. Not one bit. Like, not one bit. Like, even when Atkins, and that's probably another reason is proof positive also that I don't care for the character. Even when he's, like, in dire straits, I just don't care. I'm not scared for him. Even if he gets got, it's like, so what?
Well, it was more about the danger to the children, I think. But see, Travis says Buddy and his family should have been Cousin Eddie and his family vacation, and he says actually he wants this whole movie to be redone. And absolutely, dude, I want the same. We need
crossover we never knew we needed until now. And my number 1 least favorite thing is the most obvious thing in the fucking universe, but it has absolutely nothing to do with Halloween. There you go.
Nothing to do with the Halloween franchise.
Yes.
Everything to do with Halloween.
And again, when people say, "Oh, but it was supposed to be an anthology," that argument is invalid because again, this is 1982, and I just walked out of the theater. How do I know that? Mm-hmm. That wasn't told to me before I paid my ticket. Fuck this movie.
I get what you're saying, and you put like if they would have marketed it the way you said, Season of the Witch, a Halloween story.
Sure.
That fixes so many problems.
It does.
Zigzag says he loves this film. Time for a legacy sequel. Speaking of which, there is a fan-made legacy sequel on YouTube, and I want to say it's called The Third Channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not watched it, but I heard it's really good.
See now, like I get when people say that they like this movie or they're fans of this movie. I understand, but you just can't be a fan of this as a Halloween movie. Like it doesn't work for me, man.
I can get with that because we tried earlier on in the show, at least I was, to try to find a way to put this in where it would have been accepted more, and there just isn't a way. Even if it doesn't exist.
I mean, even if there was a way, this is 42 years ago. It's too fucking late.
No, I know. I was just, hindsight. It's 2020. I was trying to figure out, defending their thought process.
Well, hindsight is 2020, and in 1982, moviegoers were very pissed. So,
right.
I got two grades for this movie. I got two separate ones for it.
Give them to me.
As a Halloween film, it's an NA.
Okay.
No grade, because it's not a Halloween movie.
All right.
And as a film, a standalone film, and I'm going to pull that bullshit that I says isn't invalid, but I'm going to do it for the sake of this show. Season of the Witch, a Halloween story. To take away Michael Myers before or after, I'll pretend for 5 seconds while I grade this thing. It's a D-.
D-. Ooh, that's harsh. Okay. Everyone that's in the comments now, remember, we are going to be doing a show tomorrow. Sans Ryan. We're going to be having Brody McDonald on from Bloodview Haunted House and talking to him about haunts and stuff. So come back tomorrow too. But for this show, the grade for Halloween 3. I watch Halloween 3 quite frequently. I love Halloween 3. I can't figure out a way for it to make sense in the Halloween universe. We tried to shoehorn it in there, figure out a way. If they thought this way, if they did that. I agree with you 100%. It does not belong in the Halloween universe. Calling it something else would have been much better. Your idea for, I love that, a Halloween story would have been so perfect. They didn't think of it. I can't give it an A, even though as much as I love it, because the dumb bugs coming out of the mask didn't make any fucking sense, because where did they come from? They couldn't have been in the mask. And the power of the fucking rock couldn't make bugs just appear.
Mm-hmm.
They could kill you. I could get that, but I didn't like that.
Android Ellie, dude. Android Ellie.
That's a big problem, because it didn't need to be there. It doesn't change the movie whatsoever. It's kind of stupid. The movie's, for me, is hella enjoyable, though. I watch it a lot. I don't, I'm trying to think if my kids like it. I think Michaela does. I think Ricky doesn't.
That makes sense.
And I don't think she likes it a lot. It's not up there with her favorites. I'm gonna go C+. That's where I'm at.
That's fair.
I got Zigzag gives it a B, and I think Travis had a grade for it somewhere in here. For me, let's see, I'll just put it up here so I can read it up here. For me, it's a Halloween film in that it has the music, cinematography, atmosphere, direction of the Halloween film. It does have that. The movie started off as a D for me, but as time goes on, it's a C. But most of the Halloween films are bad to me, so it's high praise. I sort of agree with you, Travis. I mean, there is a really great movie, one of the best ever, and then there's some okay movies in the series, and then there's a few fucking bad ones.
Sounds like you're talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise too.
Absolutely. And I'll be the first to admit it. But I like those movies too.
And shit like this is why we're Friday the 13th guys, because we like more than half of those.
Yeah, they all make sense.
Yeah. For
the most part. I mean, from start to finish, it goes in a direction. There's not 4 or 5 different universes. There is in the Texas Chainsaw series. There is in the Halloween series. Yeah.
In Friday the 13th, once you get to 8, it kind of goes off the rails a little bit, but it's still the same story. Yeah. But I mean, for 7 of them in a row, though, it all kind of stuck to the formula.
Oh, for sure. They all picked up right where they left off in the first 7. Yeah. The 9th one is where it stops picking up right where it left off. But you can even figure out a way it got there. You can figure out a way it got to 10. You can figure out, you know what I mean? You really can. There's not big, crazy, where this doesn't make sense anymore.
We're going to have to eventually, one of these days, just do a rank the fucking franchises.
We will get to that. We talked off air about doing it, like where we could figure out which franchise has the best number 1, best number 2, best number 3, and we'll put them in there and we'll do the aggregate score. It'll be fun. It'll give us a couple other shows. But yeah, Halloween 3, like I said, good movie, not great movie, fun to watch. What it reminds me of, and ironically, it wasn't that when it came out to me because, again, like I said, when I seen Michael wasn't in it, I just dismissed it. But it reminds me of when I used to go to the video store as a kid and grab some random horror film off the fucking shelf and go home and watch it and have a good time for an hour and a half. That's what it reminded me of, even though it had that Halloween title, which separated it from being one of those random crazy horror films.
See, I'm going to tell you this too, and I was thinking about this earlier. Having the Halloween name on this movie, it was a blessing and a curse to it. A curse because it doesn't fit. But it's a blessing because if this just came out as Season of the Witch, just a standalone film, it would have got 10% of the eyes on it.
Yeah, but I think it would have done well, though.
I still think it would have became this bizarre cult classic.
Yeah. But
way more low key. Like you're wearing a shirt now. There's merchandise galore for this, and that's because it's a Halloween movie.
Right. I think it would have been
in name only.
You know, it's something like Night of the Demons. I mean, Night of the Demons isn't this giant franchise, you know, even though they've made a couple sequels and a remake or two. But like it would have ended up like that, you know, something that hardcore horror fans talk about. But if you talk to a casual, they may or may not have seen it, you know. So I think that's what it would be like.
Made a remake with your babe, Monica Keena.
Yeah, I watch it just for that.
One of your favorite looking final girls, not your favorite final girl, but one of your favorite looking.
Yeah, no, she's hot. But
did we ever rank them on looks? I don't think so because we're not pigs. Well, I'm not.
I've said, you know, which ones I liked and didn't like. I think they were all pretty cute. Except
I think you would have Monica Keena near the very top. That's just my guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like her a lot too, but I'd have her somewhere.
I have the same bottom one though.
The same bottom one as and Jensen Daggett is not a bad looking woman.
She's not a good looking woman either.
That's tough, dude. That's mean.
Yeah, it's true.
I think she's pretty, but I think all the other ones are prettier.
I think she's just okay. She's just so blah. Yeah, not my cup of tea at all. I don't like oh man. Looks wise, Jenny as much as everybody does. Amy Steele?
Oh, I love her.
I don't like hate her, but like I like 3-4 above her.
I think her attitude and just her penis adds to the attractiveness, and that's part of the package.
And she's definitely held up very well.
Yeah.
You know, today at like 70 years old, she still looks good.
But she's not quite 70.
Her 60 is pretty damn close.
Yeah, I think she's 65.
That's pretty damn close to 70. Somebody says I'm 50, I don't go, oh man, I'm pretty goddamn close. Let's see. Travis has a ranking here. Let's look at it. He says, worst to best. H5. In his next comment was, no one will agree with that. Well, I'm already disagreeing with you because H5 was decent. But Resurrection, I think that's the worst. Zombie 1, he's got it way down. He doesn't like 78. What's he like for the best? He's 18 kills. I don't know. Yeah, you're absolutely right. No one will agree with your rankings.
No one in the universe will ever agree that all three of those David Gordon Green movies are better than 1978. So get out.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? And he has Rob Zombie 2 a bit up there pretty high too. 6 pretty high. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, mine's probably almost the opposite of yours, man. But we'll get to those when we're done.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 better than 1978 Halloween.
Yeah, I don't like that movie that much.
I think Travis and JP are going to get along famous.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Looks like it.
So, yeah, with Halloween, I am definitely more contrarian than with the other ones. You know, again, when we had our two experts on for Friday the 13th, and for the total of 4 of us, I was the only one that didn't have part 1 in the number 1 spot.
Right.
So,
but you had it up there. It was, what, 3 for you?
I did 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a struggle, though. I almost put it at 4 because it's such a, for me, with those, it's such a toss-up between 1 and 2. Like, they're always flip-flopping for that 3rd and 4th spot.
Yeah, we were just talking about the final girls, but this girl is pretty hot. He goes, he doesn't have much to add, but the most attractive Friday female for him is a girl who flirts with Steven and gets killed outside of the tent. She was cute.
The one in the car with
yeah, she was cute.
Yeah, she was.
But
and that happens right
before one of the greatest kills of all time.
Absolutely, one of the best kills, not only in Friday the 13th, but in slasher movies.
Yeah, and
I've always given it credit for that.
You did.
But you have to watch the uncut version of that to see the real deal. If you watch the theatrical version, it doesn't work.
Well, that's a great Robert Kurtzman.
Yeah.
He did a fantastic job, him and the whole KMB gang, on the special effects in that film.
So yeah, we'll be back sometime during next week with at least 4 and 5.
I think we're going to do 4 and 5 in one episode. Tomorrow we're going to have the interview with Brody. Next week on Thursday, when Ryan's out, we're going to be talking to Jason. Is it Jason Pitts?
The director of
Voorhees, A Beast Within, which we did a live of that and watched that live and with some of you guys, and we all had a pretty good time doing it. I mean, I thought we had really a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, and I just remember that he was not related to Kyle Pitts.
Not related to Kyle Pitts. We did.
You know what else isn't? Who else isn't related to Kyle Pitts?
Who's that?
Touchdowns.
Touchdowns. Is he your tight end on the fantasy team?
No, he's Jesse's.
Right on. So we're gonna be doing Halloween 4 and 5 together, 6 by itself. I think we'll do the next 2 Jamie Lee Curtis movies together.
Mm-hmm.
We might do the 2 Rob Zombies together, and then we might do the new trilogy together.
Yeah.
Seems like a good.
And that should be like just in time for the end of the month.
So these Halloween reviews are going to come out randomly during the week, whenever we get time. You never know. There won't be another one tonight because I still got to watch the movies. But
really, I've watched 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 all within the last week or 2. I'm ready. Oh,
you're ready? Okay, good. Yeah, I've seen them all a million times. I just like to watch it. And like sometimes I'll have them on right while I'm doing my notes and everything, just in the background.
I'm not going to rewatch the Rob Zombie one because I've seen them both probably 3 times, and I know I'm ready for those. Yeah. I will need to rewatch the David Gordon Green ones though, because I've only seen them all once each.
Okay. So we got that coming up. Some other cool stuff. Make sure to like, share, follow the channel. We're going to be opening a merch store on this page somehow as soon as we figure out how. Ryan, who's a mask maker, is going to be making us some Whole Damn Enchilada hockey masks. Mm-hmm. See if you can see behind me. Let's see where I can point to it. Right there. That's my Browns hockey mask that Ryan made for me. So he can he makes the ones movie style ones really cool and pretty accurate. There's a couple of those up there. So he's really good at what he does. And he's going to come up with a good idea for these, and we're going to have them on there. Take it easy, Travis. Yeah, like the page. Like
thanks for finding us,
all that good stuff. What's up?
Travis, thanks for finding us, man.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to have those. We're going to do some T-shirts and some other shit. As soon as I figure out how to put it on there in a store, and it's going to be fun, and I'll probably get to that sometime real soon this week. So
I'll probably on our page. I'll going to put up just some hawks for sale for anybody who wants them. I have 3, 4s, and 5s on hand.
Right on. Yeah. So if you want to play Jason for Halloween and you need a good quality hockey mask,
I'll put them up on our page for about a week and give our watchers, our followers, our friends, and whatever the first crack at them. If not, they'll hit eBay, and they always sell the day I put them up in October. The day I put them up, they're gone. So
Right on.
But I will give our people the first crack at it and give them a better price too, because I'm such a bad guy. I'm Dan O'Herlihy bad. I'm the evil villain. I will tie you up and torture you verbally, but let you live to get me back in the end. And I will give you the round of applause to do it like an evil villain.
The James Bond villain, man.
Yeah.
It's what you do. Right on. So did you have anything else you want to add tonight?
Yeah, man. I would need to get a lot richer and a lot more Irish, though, before I could do that plan.
That is one of my favorite things about this film, though, is how Irish it is.
Yeah.
I'm Irish. I want to get a tattoo of the masks on my back.
Yeah.
In that order. You never see them posed with the white one in the middle.
Yeah.
And they're obviously an Irish flag.
Yeah, the red, green, and white. Yeah.
Why are they never this way? So it's hard to find like a collage of them with the white one in the middle. Usually,
now,
one of the other ones is.
When we get to Halloween 6, and that'll be an interesting one too. It's also a very creepy Irish vibe to that one too.
Yeah.
Below the surface, when you peel that one away,
I really hope we could find the producer's cut to watch.
I haven't seen that one in a long time.
I don't know if it's on streaming where you can pay for it. If it is, I will. I know if you want to buy it, it's like $60 for the DVD.
Yikes. I know somebody who might have a copy I can borrow, and if so, I can drop it off to you for a couple of days.
Right on.
I'll look into that. If anybody out there has it, though, message us or something. We'll do something for you. Yeah. So that's coming. Halloween's fun. These, for the most part, I enjoy watching these movies this time of year. It's the right time to do it. So.
Right on, yeah.
And that's another thing too I want to say real quick. I thought about this the other day. Somebody said, what do you like? What's going on in your life? Things you're happy for, positive things. And I did some personal stuff. And then I was like, you know what? 2024 so far in general, been a very good year for horror movies. And there's still 25% of the year left to go.
Yeah. And this is the season for horror movies. I'm hearing The Substance is really good.
Dude, seriously, like when you look at just the horror films that have released this year so far already, it's stacked.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the first time. This will be the first time we've done this. We didn't do it last year because we, started the show too late into 22 going into 23. We're going to do a year end.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll have,
we'll do a year in horror, actually on the year in horror.
Kill, and then we'll do like a top 5 or 10 list of horror movies for the year. And like I look at it now, if I just did my top 5 now, I'm not gonna say what they are, man, even that 5th one is fucking good.
Yeah, there's some really good ones.
I think this has seriously been the best year for new horror movies in a long time.
Absolutely. Which is funny, the Death Cure Society guys disagree. One or two, they keep saying like, oh, this has not been a kind of a down year. It's a really, really top heavy. And I disagree. I think that there's been really great movies, like absolute all-timers. And there's been like movies like this one that I'll watch all the time and I'll still enjoy. And there hasn't been too many Fs. See,
and there's also been films too, while they're not necessarily good, they're important. Like, and one in A Violent Nature, I think was a very important horror movie that came out this year. It might not necessarily be good, but it still will get award consideration in other categories. It's not going to make my top 5 list, and probably not my top 10 either.
And you know what? And I liked it more than you did, but it's not going to make my top 5 either. There is some A++ elements of that movie.
Sure.
But unfortunately, there's also some F++. Yeah,
there's one
F minus.
There's one category where I think that thing is going to have at least 2 nominations. So,
What, for Kill?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2.
Cinematography.
Yeah. Cinematography. It's going to be up there, man.
Or lack thereof.
So it's just.
I love that.
But yeah, it was. I still say it was a very important movie that came out for horror.
Because the next guy that does something like that is going to fix the mistakes that was made there, and we're gonna get something. And it might even be that guy with part 2 because he's making a part 2. And we're gonna hopefully he fixes the things that he has to know was wrong.
See now,
the things that he absolutely were beautiful and right, and we're gonna get some crazy art house movie that is gonna be just amazing.
When does Terrifier 3 come out?
Next Thursday.
Okay. Oh boy. But I've been watching them all, so I'll be there for it.
Are you gonna go? All right, cool.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah,
I do this show. We watch them all.
Right. I'm not gonna go on opening night because that's a Thursday and I'm gonna be here.
I'll be at Cedar Point.
Yeah, you'll be at Cedar Point. I might go on Friday to see it.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. We'll talk and we'll come up with a day we can go together.
Yeah, and I think if Friday night doesn't work, because that might be absolutely insane too.
Oh, Travis just we're in a year where Don Johnson's daughter was in a bomb and Don Johnson was in a critically acclaimed film. Which films are we talking about here? I'm curious.
About Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, but what film was Don Johnson in? Oh, wasn't he in Maxine?
Yes.
There you go. And Dakota Johnson, I don't know what she's in.
I don't remember her being in a horror movie. Maybe I'm just losing my mind.
Right on. Whatever it is, it sucked. Cause was she in The Watcher?
No, that was Amanda Seyfried.
Or Watchers or whatever the fuck it was?
That was Amanda Seyfried.
Oh, he's talking about 2 other movies anyway. He's talking about Madam Web and Rebel Ridge. Oh. We're just talking about from horror movies, though. Yeah. And you know what we were talking about. Okay, yeah, because I was going to say I like The Watchers.
Yeah, strictly horror. It's been a good year. I think overall for new movies, though, non-horror movies, it has not been a good year. But that's a whole nother.
I didn't make it to see Megalopolis yet, but I got high hopes for that. I think
I want to see it too. Yeah, I want to kind of check that out.
Maybe we'll go on. I'll hit you up on Tuesday. See what you're doing. Tuesday's discount day.
Go Padres, man! They fucking just lit them up. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I got.
Sounds like Ryan might have won some money there.
Yeah. Well, if San Diego and or Detroit make it to the World Series, I make a nice chunk. If they both make it, I make. I'm going on vacation for a while type money. So.
Well, go Tigers in that case.
Sorry. Because they play Cleveland in the next round if they finish off Houston.
Yeah. All right, man. So we've been yakking an hour and 20.
Yep.
On a show that I thought we were going to have trouble going an hour for, but here we are in overtime. So let's wrap this up so I can get to fucking sleep.
Hey, we have a better overtime track record than the Cleveland football Browns do, though. So
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, everybody, tonight on our little flash episode on Wednesday. We'll be doing some more of these non-Thursday ones because I'm a lame ass and I love my holiday weekends. Thanks, everybody, for reaching out because a few people did reach out because they believed I was sick, unlike you. And we will see you all soon. Rick will see you tomorrow, and who knows when I'll pop in. Maybe I'll show up tomorrow for a minute here and there. But in the meantime, good night, everyone, and there goes the neighborhood.
Oh, shit. There goes the neighborhood.